Yes. Yes. So should we go ahead with charts? Yeah, sure. So I'd request everybody, if you're not speaking, please mute your mic, because there are some background noise which might disturb us, right? It's a humble request. Again, let me start. So charts are the best visualization mechanism used by data analysts sparingly. So most often we use chart, and there are hardly 10-12 chart which we need to practice on, and we need you to do it. Basically, you can do it with me. It's a simple thing, but even if you can't do it with me, I'll share the Excel sheet and you can try on your Excel as well. And these are really basic things, how you can visually represent your data. Okay. There are a couple of, if you want to category in terms of inputs, there are something like time-based inputs. There are something like volume-based input. There are something like area-based inputs. And these three inputs, you normally plan it out, you normally visualize it through chart, and you can paste this chart in a PowerPoint presentation also, and so on and so forth. So these are really the best visualization mechanism and very easy to do. If you go to pivot chart, if you go to some different mechanism, they are quite challenging, but this you can do it in a couple of clicks, and I'll tell you how we can do it in a couple of clicks. The prime objective behind graphs or chart or and chart are to display data in a meaningful, crisp, with a visual representation. So it's like the trend. So it's like how it looks in terms of when you try to compare value in between the values which are given to you. Okay, so the prime objective of graphs and charts is to display a data in a meaningful and crisp manner with a visual representation of values that allows the intended user to easily understand and analyze data without getting into the granular details of such data. Now, as we have seen, many times there is a huge data. If you represent in something like the graph or chart, is just basically trying to display the data in the most meaningful manner. So here what we are trying to do, we are trying to, give me a minute please, oh man, come on. Okay, this way the data is basically visualized in one single slide with a big data as well. Means really 100 and columns, hundreds of rows, you can mention it in a single graph or chart, and we'll see how we could do it. We'll start with a simple a few values like 7, 6, 10 values, and then we'll move to the bigger values. And I'm going to share the practice Excel also, so you can use that one as well, or you can have your own Excel, and I'll tell you how you can do that. Okay, these are the powerful visual representation tool to compact large data set into a small capsule of visually appealing sets of information. What do you mean by visually appealing sets of information? It looks good, it looks professional, it looks summarized view, which can take the form of different types of charts and graphs. There are categories of charts, like you can measure pH, you can measure weights, you can measure temperature, you can measure time, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let me start with the basic of chart typing. Here in the Excel, when you click on the insert menu, you can find this charts group there. Okay, could you please open your Excel and check out if you have that chart groups with you? Could you see your charts group? Anybody? Could you see charts group on your Excel?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great, no problem. Chalo, let's move on then. This is what we're going to use for our Excelization. Let's start with the simplest chart called column charts. Now, why it's called column? Because these are vertical columns, the way we read them in the way we call them in Excel. Okay. Now, the chart is a tool you can use in Excel to communicate data graphically. So here we are trying to achieve a graphical communication where we are representing the data in the most column wise format, right? And this chart allow your audience to see the meaning behind the numbers, and they make showing comparison trends much easier. Here it's a chart, it's not really labeled. This gives you some number, January, Feb, March, and then it gives you some months like 4 months and some numbers. But as you can see, the Jan has reached to a number of 2000, Feb have reached to a number of 2005, March reached the number of in between 3500 to 3000, then April is basically somewhere around 2700. Now, is it a guesswork? Yes, there's a guesswork, there's an approximation. But the best way to read this chart, the maximum was in March, the minimum was in Jan, and then after March, the things have reduced. Now it can be revenue numbers, it can be like, like we said, it can be something like a weight, it can be something like a number of sales or something like that. Again, the labels are not mentioned. So mentioning label is a really need in the these charts and graphs, and we will learn to insert charts, modify them, they come so that they communicate the information effectively. Each of the Excel chart types have different features, make them better suited for a specific task. So each chart type is normally used in a specific work way in terms of specific requirement. Pairing a chart with its correct data style will make the information easier to understand, enhancing the communication with your own business. So we are trying to represent an Excel sheet with, let's say, a table with, let's say, 4 months and some numbers. Okay, now let me take you further, and we'll start basically creating something like this. So here we have month like from Jan to July. We have sales like these how many number, these are 7 numbers, and we have target. Okay, let me take you to the Excel, and we'll try to create a bar chart first. Okay. Let me share my screen. Where is Excel? Yes. Could you see my Excel here? Now what I'll do, oh come on, I'll basically, yeah, I'll have the ribbon on so that we can learn better. Now I'll create a database. Let's say I'm in a business of selling something, right? Or can anybody want to give any example here? Let's put down some months first. JAN, then we have FEB, and then what I can do, I can take this thing to, let's say, November or December. So I have my 12 months here. So I'll say months. Okay, then I'll say, let's say, sales figure, sales figures, sales numbers, and let's say target. Everybody understanding what I'm trying to do here? We are trying to create some data set with the months and sales figure and target. Oh, sorry for that. Could you see on my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, let's say in January we did a sales of 3,000. In February we did 3,500. Oh, sorry. 3,500. Here we did, let's say, 3,300. Something. I'm just creating a data set. I'm just trying to give a sample numbers to these ones, right? So in April I did 2,000. Let's say 2,800. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's call it 4,000, 3,500 again. Oh, not 35,000. Let's say 33, 32.
Could we also have a
Uh,
attribute which is a calculated field, like commission? Commission was based on the sale amount.
yeah, definitely. We can have based on these, right? We can definitely do that. Yeah. Let's say target. Let's put a fixed target. Here we have started with, let's say, 3,500 as a target. So for the first, let's say, first 6 months, I'll have this much as a target. This is normally, the way company work. Like they give you a target for the first 6 months. So let's have first 6 months. We have this target called 3,500. Then we improve. What you can say. Increase the target to 4,000. So I'll just copy it here. I'm trying to make my life easier. Okay, let's say this is a data. Then you can have a commission, and you can try it on your own. Like if you want to calculate in percent, so say equal to this in a percent sign, and I'll say, let's say 15% commission. Does that sound right? Oh, okay. let's do it the hard way round. So equal to this, okay, come on, this into 15 divided by 100. That's how you calculate your percentage, right? And so from here I'll just that's a corresponding percentage of these things, right? 4,500, 4,000, we have 600, that's right. So these are the, I'll save this thing. Now let's go to the, oh come on, okay, let it be, no problem. So let's go down to the first of the chart. Okay, so the first chart was our column chart. Okay, so now I'll go to Excel. What I'll do, I'll select the first two these thing columns, or rather the first two data elements. I'm not selected months and sales here. Okay, so I'll go to insert, I'll go to charts, and I'll go to say column charts. So there are 2D column charts, there are 3D column charts, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead with the simple column chart. Let's go ahead with the column chart. So this is the column chart as we've seen in our in our presentation. So here we have a numbers by at the bottom we have figures over here. Okay, so what Excel have did, let's try to understand how Excel plot this chart. So what Excel did, Excel plotted the first column as an x-axis, the second column as a y-axis entity, and between these two they have plotted a graph from 0, that's x-axis, and the magnitude is at the revenue figures or the sales figures, and sales figures are normally in dollars. So I'll put dollar sign here so that we can oh come on, sales dollar figure. Okay, so these these are all dollar figure. So you can mention it in the this thing also, means in the row also, and it's as simple as that. So let's say if you select this thing, right click, and if you give them a kind of format cell, select as a currency, right? So currency, it's like 2 decimal, we don't need any decimal because our round figure, and here I select dollar. Let me get United States dollars. Is it on the top? American dollar. What's this thing? I don't know. Well, I'm using from India, so these are the what you can say, challenging scenario.
You
We
can
have all.
you can select USD at the bottom. If you say USD,
Yes, let's do that. Oh man.
click on U.
SD. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, come on, give me a minute, please. Yes. So let me select the USD one here. So USDs are American dollars. Okay, now we can see the USD, reflected in these, y-axis figures as well. Could you see that? Means whenever we have typed USD here, the USD gets reflected across the y-axis. This is our y-axis. This is our x-axis. Everybody could remember our geometry from 6-7 standard about the graphs, x-axis, y-axis.
Yeah.
Any confusion there?
No.
We are good, right? If anybody have any problem, let me know, and I'll share the videos as well. Now when I click here, let's see what happens. This column gets selected. Now when I click again here, this graph gets selected. Now these bars are selected basically. Could you see these 4 dots? I can change the color as per my this thing. Means I can make a this way. I can change the visualization of this graph. Okay, like this, if you want to mention it there, you want to have the lines, black color, blue background, and all these things, whatever you want, you can change. Now if you want to change a color, I'll click here and I will change the fill color. Now it's a blue, I might change it to orange because it's critical for me to have the June months as an whatever figures we have seen has to be clearly depicted there. Now, if you can remember, I have just selected 2 columns. We do have 4 columns. Okay, but let's go one step at a time. Let's not rush anywhere. Okay. Now, could you do the chart with me? Could you do this click? Let me paste this table or paste this Excel sheet on our group so that, come on, this Windows 21 file name. I want to Let's keep it in a downloads and give file name as a chartprac. Let's call it chart practice. Okay, and I'm going to save it in my download. Now let me upload this to our group so that you can start practicing right away. File, or else go to downloads. That's not a thesis work. Oh, come on. Downloads, and here I have this file, and I have uploaded this thing to the Excel. I have uploaded that Excel to our WhatsApp group. Please have a look at it and you'll get a detail. Now, could you understand this, column chart type? This is the simplest possible, chart we can do. Anybody have any confusion, question for me at this moment? Are we good? Can you hear me, sir, madam?
Yes.
Okay. So could you get this Excel, because we just created a sample Excel. You can also practice with me. We are going to learn some 11 12 chart types, just to make sure we should be able to do these things whenever we are working, and it's a simple thing. So oh, come on. So please download the Excel sheet and try to, where's my word? So could you open your Excel sheet? Could you able to do this column chart? Sir, madam? Should I go ahead? Should I wait for your answer?
Yes, I can open it.
Yeah. Could you see the chart, sir? Could you make it by yourself?
Yes, exactly same.
Okay, great. No problem. Okay. Now
Should,
let's.
so should we delete the chart and
Yes, ma'am.
do it again?
Yes, ma'am. That'll be the great thing, because you should be able to do it on your own, right? That's why. So see,
Okay.
click on this thing and just say delete. I'll explain again. I'm selecting this column and the column besides that, right? I go to insert. I go to this first insert column or bar chart. We are trying bar chart. We are trying column chart first. Okay, so I have clicked here. So I got all these different chart, right? So I'm selecting. Let me select the other chart now. Now these are the 3D column charts, what they call. Okay, or they call it 100% stack column chart. These are 3D stack column chart. So there are different charts available. Let's first do the first row. Okay, so I'm doing the first in the 3D column chart. Now could you see there is a 3D here, right? Means the columns are of three-dimensional nature. Could you see, rather than rectangle we have 3D, and even the bar have a the overall background have a figure of the background have a look of a 3D thing. So that's why it's called 3D chart. It's just way of representing. Okay, again here also you can do the same thing. If you want to change the color altogether, I can go here and I can change the bar type and all those things the way I like. Okay, if not, I'll keep it there. And for the color, I can just select. I can press shift. I can select two columns. Oh. Okay, I've selected all the columns, and if I change the feel of the color to this one, whatever I like, okay, and I can do it that way. Let me try this one. No, doesn't look good, right? How about this guy? This guy looks good. Let's go with the brown. The way I can see, it's a brown color. Even I can format these things. If I don't want these things, I'll change it. Even I can change the color, filter, and everything, right? So here these are the options called format, access, and everything. So there's a fill color. I can fill this thing with the let's say solid fill, or I can give a background or something like that as well. Play around with these things, okay? You'll get a hang of it. Yeah,
and
go
we
ahead.
can also add the data labels to each and every column, in the sense like, I mean, in the
Yeah,
January. if you
yeah, this way
really
you're
want-
talking, right? So not guidelines. Oh, come on. You can select the right. Okay. And here, as we can see, where is that in a format data series, you can add data labels, or we can select the types as well, like vertical values, or plot area. You can select whatever you want to do in terms of, let's say, if you want to change the black wall, you can change the black wall with a shadow.
Did you
Go ahead, please,
did
ma'am.
you select histogram?
No, ma'am. We are starting with the first. Let me insert. Could you see my screen, madam? I have gone with the
Yeah.
first. Yeah, the first one. Insert column or bar chart. We're going to do this thing steadily. See, we need to understand, and we should be able to do all these basic 12 graphs, right? So we are going slow. Let's not jump the bandwagon. We're going to do histogram as well. But let's go slow. Everybody should understand, and everybody should basically look at that thing. Here these column charts, and then if you click here, you can select different chart type as well. So we have like this. See, you can if you like, you can select this one also. So these are again a kind of filled column chart. You can say filled 3D column chart. Okay, if you like this, you can keep this. These are all different colors and combination. Please do try. How we are trying? I have selected the chart. I have gone here, and I'm basically trying to do these things in a progressive manner, selecting any chart, bar, graph, and so on and so forth. Could you understand what I'm doing here? And play around.
Yes,
with
sir.
Yes,
Play
sir.
around with this, and this way we can learn new things. If you have any questions, please do ask. Should I go to the next chart type?
Sir, I have question.
Please go ahead.
When you do like target and that COMM, that's the commission.
No, ma'am. You don't have to select all. Okay, let me show you again. I'm deleting this thing. See, remember, we are just basically, sorry, I have accidentally deleted just one column. Now, see what I'm doing. Just do it like me first, and then we'll basically go to the complicated way. What I've selected, the first two data in the first column, B and C, I've selected Jan and the sales figures. Could you understand, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah, and then I gone to the 2D column chart or 3D column chart. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Okay, and click here. If you want to change the practice, if you want to change the you want to change the title, you can click here, and you can give your name, or SALES sales CHART chart for 2022. Means whatever I want to give a name, I can change. Even I can change the font. Algerian. Is it not okay? We have to select that, I believe. So I can select whatever font size I want, and then I can do it. I can work it on that part, right? And play around this thing, and you'll get a good idea how to make it better. I'll select it. I have again go to the change chart type here. There's a column, and then select this thing, and then there are a number of different column chart types as well. You want this one, select this one. If you like this one, again, it's your own artistic nature. So here, what I did progressively in a kind of graphical manner, I have arranged my column charts. Let's say from Jan, Feb, March, and one after the another in a distinct color. Again, depend on your depend on your artistic nature. Please do change this thing. I can change the size also by increasing or decreasing these things the way I want it. So play around with it so that you'll get a hang of it. It's not difficult. And even if it's got deleted by mistakes, let's say oh, come on, if it's got deleted by mistake, so what I have to do, I have to select again two column, go to the insert, take a first one. We're going to learn others as well, and then you can click here, and you are back to that, right? Is it simple enough? Could you understand what we are doing here?
Yes.
Yes.
I have a question regarding formula, because
Go ahead.
formula you type the manually like equal, multiply, divide. There is like a
Here, ma'am.
this column, yeah,
Here.
the 450.
Huh.
Yeah, that formula you have to just like we have to do our own, or
No, let's not jump. Let's concentrate on the first two column.
Okay.
I think Harini madam was expressing you can have something like this as well, and you can do that as well. Okay, so
Okay.
that's what I have put it over there. Have you comfortable with the first two, data elements?
Yes, thank
We
you.
get a, column chart. Now
Yes,
these are
thank
called
you.
Yes.
column chart because these are vertical. Now let's try bar chart. Okay, I have deleted this thing. I've selected the data. I'll go to insert. I'll go to oh come on, this is soon. Okay, I'm clicking here, and then there are these bar charts. Okay, similarly, like column, we have bar chart, so we can have a 3D bar charts and everything. Let me do it this thing again. Go here, change style. Okay, change chart, and I can do all sort of a column chart here, sorry, bar chart here if I want this way. And there are other options available, so I can do it this way, whatever I like. Okay, and this is the way the column chart have changed. Now could you see here the overall axis does change. Here they have USD along horizontal axis and x-axis and the months are on the y-axis, but I couldn't see the months. Okay, so you can add that thing, or you can use the column chart if you want to have both the figures. Here in the bar chart, this is a way standard, this is a standard way to do it, or the best practice is basically everybody understand these volumes, these magnitudes are for the first column, whatever you selected in the scenario, like along y-axis. Along x-axis, we have the second column. We need to understand these things, how you need to present this chart is represented normally whenever you want to show the progression. Now this is a January figure, then we have February figure. In January we did 3000, in February we did 3500, then we have 3300, and so on and so forth. So here we are basically showing the progress. The best sales is basically in the month of December, and December is basically 4500. That's the maximum sales we achieved, and this you can describe whenever you are presenting the data, and this is the way we normally do it. So you need to choose the data type which you as a person can explain. Ravindra is a different person. He might like different colorful chart. You might like more of a professional chart. Okay, so what do you mean by professional? Come on. I might use a simpler way, right? Bar chart. I might use simple way without any coloring. So I might use this one, and I'm feeling comfortable in explaining these things. Here I can then get the months figure also in that chart. These are all templates. These are all predetermined best practices embedded in the Excel. So you can choose, or you can edit them also. I can delete these month figure by selecting them and just pressing delete. So the months got deleted. But if I want to choose this chart type, I did a Control Z where I have did undo the last thing. So here I'm getting the months on our x-axis and the dollar sales on the y-axis. Could you understand the difference between these two, sir, madam?
Yes.
Yes. So these are the simple thing, but we need to remember this thing to choose the correct, correct chart type or a bar type. To select the correct, chart type. Okay. Do you think you could be able to do this? Should I move ahead?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Let me delete this thing again. Now let me go back to selecting different bar chart. Let me take back to the presentation first. Yes. So what we understood column chart, then we understood bar chart. I'm going to share the presentation as well, so you'll get these detail also, how to do it, what type of chart and how it's called. Now this is one of my favorites. This is called pie chart. I don't know why it's showing so smaller figure. Let me begin. Could you read these things? Yeah, now it's, I think, much better. These are what I like. As a person, I can explain this thing much better. So what we are doing here, the data that's arranged in one column or a row on a worksheet can be plotted as a pie chart. Pie chart shows the size of item in one data series proportional to the sum of items. What do you mean by proportional? It's like percentage basis. So the full pie chart is 100. The single chart is basically the differentiation or comparison of the percentage. So when you talk about population, sales figure in percentile, then the pie chart is the best one. And then the data points in a pie chart are shown in a percentage on a whole pie. Okay. It's also same simpler thing like doing a bar chart. Let me, go into the Excel. Could you see my Excel here?
Yes.
Yeah, again, I'm selecting these data points here. I'm going insert. I'm going here. The last point is insert pie or donut chart. Let's first do the pie chart. Okay. These are the pie chart. You can do it these ways also. Let's start with the simple one first. Okay. Now click here. Well, this is a pie chart, simple one, right? So this pie chart talks about colors like this here represent Jans, then we have February, March, and so on and so forth. It's percentile figure. Okay, let me do some changes here. Let me delete these things and let me select the first 3 data elements only. So if there are lesser data elements, then this chart looks much better. What I'm doing, I'm again going and selecting this thing. Now could you see the differences? They are almost equal. Means if you look at what you can say percentile wise, but yes, there's a bit smaller difference, like 3000 3500 sorry, January is 3000. This is my January, blue color. Orange and March, February is orange color and March is my gray color. So when I look at March, it's basically a bit smaller than a February, but this percentile wise it doesn't represent that clearly for this data, and that's why for these type of data I might not use pie chart, but still you might get a idea how to draw a pie chart. Okay, so pie chart is basically for mostly a different or rather difference representing the difference in between the data elements. So let me check out these 4 rows or 5 rows. Okay, and do the pie chart here again, where you'll understand what it actually means. Now here I can see the biggest one is basically in the, this is my March, right? Can I, let me, okay, and I'll basically, okay, the color I think dark blue is March, so this is my March one. Okay, then I have orange as an April, then May as a gray, then yellow as a June, and this is July. You can see the difference. The biggest one is basically in the month of June. So my June, the yellow is the most bigger one. Then we have July, right? Yes, July is the further smaller than that. So this is further smaller than that. And the smallest one is at 2000. That's the April one. So April one is my smallest. If I want to change the color, again same thing. Here I can go and I can have whatever color I like. If I don't like this color, select and just change the field to, let's say if I like this color. So this way you can play around with it. And then there are different type of these chart types, as you can see here. This also gives you a much clear idea in terms of how percentiles are different on this pie chart. Could you understand what I've done? Anybody who couldn't understand? When you select these things, these ribbon, these are the menus and these are the ribbons. The ribbon changes and you can select the appropriate ribbons as per your requirement, as per your way, because this is you're going to explain it to all these dignitaries in a presentation, right? As a data analysis solution presentation, and that's why it's you, whatever basically wants to present the data, should be able to explain it in much greater detail, or should be able to explain it in the most efficient way. And that's why the choosing correct chart type is a kind of depend on the person who is doing these chart types. Does that make sense to you? Again, I'll go back to this thing and then I'll move to something like yes, now what we are doing here, just to repeat the process, we select the data, we click on insert button and we select the recommended charts here. And as you can see, there are a number of recommended charts. Again, to change it to, let's say 3D or change the chart title, I'll select this thing. Let me go back to the Excel sheet again. There's Excel sheet here. Okay, Just select different chart type. I'll go here, I'll right click and change the chart type. And I have different chart types here, like this one. Let's write pi of pi, okay, or this way. So pi with this differentiation, okay. And I'll just say, so here, as you can see, what they have done: May, March, April, May, June, July, and they have basically showcased you the differentiation or the kind of values in a summarized way as well. Look at the way, play around with your own data. What I would really suggest, start building an Excel sheet with your home expense. So what I'll do, I'll have months and I'll expense on car gas, I have expense on grocery, I have expense on house rent, I have expense on some item, right? Try to put down some figure for last 6-7 months and then try to plot any graph. Whatever graphs gives you a clear-cut idea of how your expense are being, could be presented. Try to present it with your better half. So he or she will guide you, which is the best way he or she feels, or you can explain it to him. See, we are spending too much on a car gas. We are spending, so much on a grocery or rent or something like that. So try that thing out. We're going to learn the combo chart as well. Right now, we are just learning the singular chart. Okay. Now let me change the chart type again. So what I'm doing, I'm selecting, I'm just clicking anywhere, right click, change chart type, and let me go to the 3D chart. So this is my 3D chart. So 3D pie chart. Okay, here I have also kept the percentage figures quite promising. I can even change the font size of these things. So what I'll do, I'll go here and the font size should be not the position center. If I go to home, instead of 9, I'll say 15 and I'll say okay. So the font size has increased. I can give italics, I can give underline, I can do bold, whatever you want to represent it, whatever way you want to represent, you can do it. Okay, and please try it on your own so that you can understand how you can basically utilize these things for your best representation, best data visualization. Now how to take it to a PowerPoint? Right click, just say copy, and I'll go to my PowerPoint. This is my presentation. I'm just adding a slide here. Okay, new slide. I'll select or I'll insert here and I'll say paste. Again, see how beautiful looking chart. I like pie chart, so that's why I'm saying it's a beautiful looking. If you don't like, yes, you can try whatever charts you like. And then again, oh come on, I need to delete that bar here. It won't come, but yeah. And then even I can have that background color change, fill and blah 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 thing as well, whatever you want. Okay, I can have the background color as a black and whatnot. Could you understand what I've done? Anybody, could you do it on your own of this 3D pie
Yeah.
chart? Go ahead, please, ma'am.
Yeah, sir, is it data modeling? What is it that we did right now?
No,
is
these
it
are
under
data
data
visualization.
modeling or data
No, data visualization.
data preparation?
Data
Okay,
visualization. The presentation of the
Okay.
data. Okay, you are talking about. Okay,
So in the
let me go to
5
that.
steps.
Yes, in that we are trying to result interpretation. This is what we are doing right now.
Okay.
Okay, data
Okay,
modeling will
okay.
do. Data modeling is basically rearranging the whole data model you have. So column shifting, filtering, slicing, and so on and so forth. Again, these are not distinctive steps. There are a bit of overlap. Okay.
Mhm.
Just remember these 5
Okay.
steps. Whenever somebody asks you what is data analytical processes, so data analytical processes have distinct 5 steps, which we might call data collection, data preparation, data exploration, data modeling, and result interpretation. And then,
So result interpretation is also called as visualization?
yes, ma'am, because you are trying to interpret the result for everybody else, right? So here what you are doing,
Mhm.
you are interpreting the result in a graphical format, in a visualized format, with
Mhm.
the pie chart, bar chart, column chart, whatever chart you like. Does that
Okay.
answer your question, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No problem. So this is what 3D. We have only one data series right now. We are not doing combo charts. It's a singular chart. You might have multiple charts. depending upon your selection value, the way you want to present. So what I'll do, if I go to Excel and we have an yearly data right here, what I can do, I can have quarter wise pie chart as well. So for first first quarter, okay, let me delete that thing, let me do quarter wise, and we can have four these things. So first quarter is Jan, Feb, March. I've selected insert and I've selected this one and I've reduced it. So this is like quarter one. So I'll say quarter one. Oh, come on, quarter one sales. Quarter one SALLES. So this is my quarter one cell. Oh, come on. And then I can reduce the size the way I want. Then similarly, I can do it for the next quarter. Again, insert, pie chart, same thing. So this is my second quarter. I can label it as well. Now these look similarly color, but you can change the color as I want. If I want to change this color, I'll click this thing, I'll go to fill. No, sorry, I'll click this thing, I'll go to fill, and I'll change the color to, let's say, dark blue. No, we do have blue already, right? So let's we have orange as well. Let's do green. We didn't have green, so green one. Then we have completed first 6, right? So let's start with the next quarter. Here, insert, pie chart, again pie chart. I'll reduce the size, I'll put it down here. This is my third quarter. So I have not changed the title of the third, QUARTER. Okay, so similarly I can do whatever chart or graphs I want to include in my Excel sheet. I can do it on my own, right? Now let me get back to our presentation. Stop share, start share presentation, and here let's try the donut chart now. Okay, come on, what's happening? I don't know. So after 3D pie chart, let's go to the donut chart. This is a bit complicated chart, okay? But let's try how we can do these donut charts, okay? Let me come back here. Let me come back to the Excel sheet. Again, it's just matter of selecting different chart type. Is as simple as that. Oh, come on. Okay, I have deleted the label and that's why I can have a bigger chart there, okay? Let me delete all this previous chart. Or you can keep that chart and keep doing it somewhere else. So I'll just select this thing, I'll say insert, and in the pie chart itself there's something called donut chart, and there is a so this is the donut chart. Now here I want to change the chart type because I want the percentile here. So how do I insert percentile in the pie chart? We have separate as a donut chart. They don't have these templates with me, I believe. No. So if I want to have a percentile sign here, there's no insert here. Okay, so this is a donut chart. Here, I think due to this huge amount of data, we couldn't see the difference. So let me basically try to use again the similar data which we used for, let's say, our pie chart. So here, now I think this is much better, right? So we have March, April, May, June, July, August. So here my biggest one is this one, June one, then the smallest one is orange one, the April one, and so on and so forth. Okay, and you can try to use this chart as well. This is the least possible chart we normally use. Okay, so again, depending upon your own what you can say preferences, your own way of how you can describe it better with this visualization, you can choose the chart. Okay, now any questions so far? Anybody have any confusion?
I have questions that you show a lot about 2D, 3D charts and everything like this. So in the projects or in the real life presentation, which do you recommend or we as the data analyst, we should use the charts?
Mostly, I think 3D pie chart or the 3D column chart are the most used one. Okay, but there are bit of complicated charts type also, which we are going to see. So if you want to use like say 3 column, 4 column, how to use those charts, that what we're going to see now, which is got bit. Let's try this donut chart with 2 column. Now these are what we call column or what we call combo chart. So you are trying to have combination of data, right? I've selected 2 rows here. I'll say insert. Now I'll go to donut charts now and I'll say click. Could you see what happened here?
Yes.
The outer row is my target. The inner row is my actual sales. So I can compare these two here. So here, if you look at these, I don't know, yellow. The yellow is my April, right? So in April, let me try to compare. In April, what I did, the target was 3005. I have just did 2000 as a sale. So there's a big difference here, right? And if you look at something like, let's say, September, in September, I have exceeded the target. So in September, which is of this color, right?
It's green.
Yeah. And that where we have exceeded this target. You can see in the donut chart. Again, you can have something like these type of donut charts where you have these figures also. So here like 7%, 8%. So we are almost did good. But here we are doing 10% at the place of 8%. So these are the percentile. Percentile in the sense the outer ring 100%, inner ring another 100%. And then you can basically change the what you can say number, size, font as an when you like. But this give you a comparison. But if I do this thing in, let's say, bar chart, let's try to do it in a bar chart and you'll understand what I'm trying to say here. Now we are going to use a double bar chart here, 3D column bar chart, which also I like. So here, here we have blue as in my sales, sales figure. On orange we have targets. So orange just have 3500 and then 4000 500, right? As we've selected come on, move. Okay, here we have 3000. Why it's not moving? Okay, now it's moved. So we have target as a 3500. So this is, you can clearly see the difference. In April we have a huge difference between these two. In June we normally exceeded the expectation. Could you see here in the June the blue bar is much bigger than the orange bar. And similarly in the December also we have exceeded the expectation. And here you can see the number. I don't want to explain exact number figure, exact numerical figure, but the way this looks like to me is like you can clearly see the increase or the comparison wise on each and every month by month figures. And that's why you can explain, you can make it bigger. I can take it to the PowerPoint with that copy, and I'll basically paste it in my presentation so that you can understand how these charts are doing in terms of, I'll use the same slide. I am deleting this and I am doing this thing. Okay, now the figures have changed. So let me do a kind of paste special, or what do you call, keep the format. Okay, and then I can increase the size, and now I think it's looking much bigger. You can see the differences if you go to presentation mode. Yes, could you see the difference? In April we are so much less. In the June we have exceeded the expectations. Similarly in December we have exceeded the expectation, and in September also we have exceeded the expectation. These lines represent, let's say 2005. These lines doesn't matter, but the level comparison does matter whenever we are explaining these things. Could you understand? And these are what we call combo charts. So you are combining two charts together. Does that make sense to you, sir, madam?
Yes.
Okay. So please try it on your own. Try to have your home expense chart, which will give you a clear idea how you are doing in terms of home expense. Try to have number of column charts here. So I'll have one as in total, then I have one as in rent or gas, and so on and so forth. So you can basically get a explanation. You can do this explanation to your better half, and he or she can guide you. No, this is not good. Go with the donut. Go with other chart as well. Okay. Now let me take you to the presentation where we will start understanding what we mean by combo. Now this is a combo chart. Okay, combo charts combine two or more charts together, types to make the data easy to understand, especially when the data is widely varied. It is shown with a secondary axis is even easier to read. Here they have used combo chart. One is a line chart, one is a column chart, and they have superimposed it. Create a combo chart, arrange the data in the columns and rows on the worksheet. So let me show you these type of charts. Okay, so come on. Okay, so let me take you to the Excel sheet again. Shift, where's the Excel sheet? Here. Okay, let me delete these things. Let me try to have a combo chart here. So insert charts. We don't have combo chart here. We don't want tree map. We want yes, let's choose. This is a combo chart we are talking about. Now I can change the color, chart type. I can use this one. Okay, there are not many this thing. Okay, I can choose the color. I can change the color. I use the fill as a different fill. This looks much more better, right? Again, depending upon your thought process, I can have this thing as an, let's say, okay, here. So does it looks okay to you, or you try your own colors? Okay, and next session please try to present this thing, whatever chart you like, and try to guide me why you like that chart. Okay, this way we can understand that you did the practice and you also understood different chart types. Now these are combo because there are two charts we're using, one for the sales, one for the target. This is my sales point in October, and this is my sales point in October US 360. This is the columns are basically my sales figure, and this is my target. So target is increasing continuously, right? So here we have, they have plotted this graph according to the lines, and that's why we have these increasing targets, but we don't have this increasing, right? It should plot 3,500 for okay, it's basically have reversed the order, I believe. No, the okay, the months have been arranged in a increasing data order here. So the these what you can say, least difference to the best difference. So this chart type shows you the difference in comparison with the other column. So I might choose this one. So here if I get to have those numbers, okay, I can't see this thing. Let me close this thing. Let me make it a bit bigger so that we can understand. So here it's going out of my, okay, could you see here we can have these numbers, and here I have these numbers according to your y-axis. This is my x-axis, which is not linear. Okay, so I have a January, then I have May, April, I'm starting with December, and so on so forth. So here they have tried to build a comparison chart, and this is what the combo chart is all about. Okay, let me try to have another chart. Let me go back to the presentation and you'll understand what am I talking about. These are called tree map chart. A tree map chart provides hierarchical view of your data and makes it easy to spot patterns, such as which the items are store's best sellers, so or the best sales figures, and so on and so forth. The tree branches are represented by rectangles, and each sub branch is shown as a smaller rectangle. The tree map chart displays category by color and proximity and can easily show lots of data which would be difficult with other chart types. This is a specific chart type to use to give you a hierarchical pattern. Hierarchical in the sense, hierarchy normally a kind of tree-like pattern where we have top is the smallest, bottom is the biggest, and so on and so forth. Like a hierarchy in our organization, we have CEO, CTO at top, and we have all these office executive at the bottom, and so on and so forth. So bottom is bigger. We might have 30-40 executive, but we might have just one CEO like chief executive officer. Then we have chief financial officer, chief technical officer reporting to it, and so on and so forth. So on top we just have one person. In the bottom we might have 12, 30, 40 executives working for the complete hierarchy or for the company in a progressive manner. Like that, we might use tree chart as an hierarchical manner chart. Okay, let me play around the tree chart with our same data which we have where we have started, right? So let me delete these things. Oh, come on. Okay, now let me try tree chart with this total. I think total will be a bit complicated. Let's try with the first 6 months. Okay, insert charts, not that one. These are the combo charts though. Where are the tree chart? Waterfall, funnel, stock chart. Yes, tree map chart. Now this is a tree map chart we are talking about here. We are trying to have a hierarchy in terms of June was my highest, right? So June come first. Then I have February. February was 3,500, and so on and so forth. So then we have March, January, May, April. These size of the rectangles, or rather the area of rectangle, if I may say so, is depicting the total volume. And then I have these type of different colored or different sequential combination also. But this depicts the basic tree map chart. I know this is a bit complicated. I normally try to avoid this chart as a data analyst. But if you want to use, if you can understand this tree map chart very well, please go ahead. Again, it's you who are going to do the explaining to the business people. Does that make sense to you? Why I'm saying you shouldn't use this thing? Unless and until you should be able to explain that, it's really waste of time, right? Or waste of energy. Try with a simpler chart, whatever you are more comfortable with. Does that make sense, madam?
Yes.
Okay, so let me take back to the presentation and let's try a different combo chart. So after tree map, we have Pareto charts. Okay, we did this Pareto, we'll do it again. Pareto is a sorted histogram. Chart contains both columns and a sorted descending order or line representing the cumulative total percentage. So this is a cumulative total percentage, which is showing by the line graph. Oh, we are not showing the line graph, right? Oh, pardon me. Let me go to the line graph first. Okay, could you see my Excel sheet here? Everybody, can you see my Excel sheet?
Yes.
No? Okay. Now I'm selecting the data again and I'm showing you the line chart. Okay. The second one are basically line or area chart. Let's go ahead with the line chart first. Okay. So we are simply plotting a simple line. So here, simple line chart, which tells you the sales figure plotted across the number. So these are the sales figure. This is a kind of graph. So line chart is a kind of graph I am talking about, where you have these January sales plotted here, February sales plotted here, and then connect the two line. Similarly, March sale plotted here and connect the two line, and so on and so forth. Again, you can change the color background the way you want. Okay, let me show you now the combo line chart. Okay, what do you mean by combo line chart? Here I am selecting 2 or 3 columns. Okay, let's select all the 3 columns. Let's go to insert, let's go to the line chart, and let's try to plot a composite chart. So here this is a composite chart. So what I'm talking about here, the orange one are my series 2 sales figure. I can rename it the way I want, right? So the way I rename it, sorry, format the legend entry. This is my legend entry, and in the text, where's the text field, color, border, no line, color, transparency, value. Where's value? How can I change the value? Can I type it over here? This is my target, right? I can't do that thing. So how do I change this
See
thing?
the tax option? Do you see the legend entry option?
Okay,
Then they have a
yeah.
tax option.
In the ledger entry option. So where is that? Okay, here. Okay. Solid fill. No, it won't let me change text. I don't know why.
If you go to plus sign about the um, painted sign, there is a plus sign here
Okay.
next to, yeah, and there's
Oh,
axis. Yeah, chart title, you can change
no.
from there.
Mm,
If
no,
you
no,
click
not
on
that.
the arrow,
I want this legend. See, these are the legends, right? So I want
so
to change.
here there is a legend too.
Yeah, I go
Down.
to legend. But if I go to,
Yeah.
okay, let me. No, I don't want
If
to
you
change.
see the under the grid lines, I mean they have a legend, but I mean I don't know.
Yeah, there is a legend button. There will be an arrow and you can change that.
Still, I don't know why, but oh yeah, you might be able to change that. Try it out. This is a series one, so I can label it accordingly. My blue color line is basically my sales figure. So I started at 3,000, then I moved to 3,005, then I moved to 3,300, and similarly, this is the worst month for sales, which is at 2,000. Okay. Similarly, I can have all my expenses plotted around these lines, and the commission. I am given the commission 450 in the month of January, and so on and so forth. The commission is in line with the sales. So in the April I have given the least possible commission. In the month of September and December I have given the maximum commission, as I have the maximum sales above target also. Okay, and if I change figures here, let's say if the target I have increased it to 5,000, let's say I have increased to the 5,000, and I'll press enter. The chart changes accordingly. So my actual sales is 4,500, my target is 5,000. So I have not exceeded the target, but I have increased the target. Similarly in September also, September I have exceeded the target, but that's normally not the scenario. So I can increase this into the 4,500 mark, and I'll do it same, like I'll copy this thing, I'll paste it here, I'll paste it here again. So what you did? We have increased our sales target from September to December, September to November 4,500. In December we have increased to the 5,000 level, and these charts are dynamic, so they get changed as and when you change the data. Okay, so these are like combo charts. Now this is a complicated chart with 3 data columns, and that's how you plotted these line charts. Now you can choose other chart as well. So you have charts like, these are the most difficult chart, and these are used by weathermans and all those kind of persons. These are called scatter chart. Okay, it's a kind of a line chart where I have used scatter chart. But if I choose scatter chart with, let's say, now what have they've pointed the size of the sphere, and there are three different colors. Orange is for my targets, blue is for my actual sales, and basically gray is for my commissions. This is not really correct representation of what I am doing, right? So I'll just do Control Z. This is the best representation. Again, I need to find out which gives me a real correct understanding. Oh wow, this looks really good. Could you understand? My orange is my target, my blue is my actual sales, and these gray dots at the bottoms are my actual commissions, whatever I have given to the salespeople. And the chart is basically vertical axis we have dollar number, horizontal axis we have monthly figure. Okay, and this is the chart which I have chosen in this insert statistical chart figure. No, I have choose, I think, yes, I have chosen combo chart, and I've used this combo chart with stacked area, clustered columns. Okay, and try to play around with this. You can have these things also. These are again a bit of difficult chart where you have surface, areas, and all those things are plotted. It's really difficult, means it's difficult to explain as a normal scenario. Here the orange is my orange is my USD 20 to 40,000, right? So we are talking about sales. In terms of blue, the color is in the background, we are talking about the targets, and the gray are my commission. It's really complicated, means this is not the correct chart. Okay, so you might choose whatever chart type you are feeling right. I feel this give you a clear picture, or you can use this as well. This is like you have blue is your actual sales, orange is your target, and gray is your no, sorry, I'm confusing in between.
So you can change the name of the series from the filter option.
From the
Filter option. Filter sign is there.
okay, yeah, here.
Yeah, here in the series, if you click on the series 1, yeah, this sign is coming. When you check it, like, yeah, this sign, on the right side.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
right.
can be changed from there. Yeah.
So let's say this is what my we're talking about sheet 1, E4. So we are talking about E column is your commission, right? Yeah, E is your commission column. So this is my commission figure, COMM. Okay, I'll say okay. Yes, it's getting updated. That's really thanks a lot. That's really great finding. So this way I go to filter, I'll go to series 2, and give whatever name I want to give it to. The I want series this thing to be plotted, but this is my target. TARGET. This is my, oh come on, this is my target. Okay, so I can see this is my target, and that's my series 1. Okay, so you please play around. I think this is the right one. Even I learn how to change labels on the chart graph from the madam, and this is really great way to learn together. And that's what I want to basically give you a complete understanding of how we can work together. And this is how we do the project support also. In the support, if anybody have a problem, he or she can post it in a job support group WhatsApp, and anybody can reply to that. Okay, whoever at time. And if if you require, even I can step in. I'll be on that support group as well. So whenever you're working actually on the on your office, in your office, then you can solve your query together like these as well. Okay, chalo. Any question on this combo chart? Try it on your own so that you'll understand how comfortable you are in. Okay, let me take oh sorry, let me take back to the presentation. Yeah, this one, right? So these are Pareto chart we're talking about. Now this is a oh come on, these are area charts. As we just seen, we have seen area chart with a combo of a line. That's a kind of, let me show you again. No problem there. Now I'll go to Excel. I'll delete this. Oh, come on. I'll delete this chart. Let me show you area chart with the first this thing, right? Insert. Oh, come on, this zoom floating bar is a pain in the wrong place. Okay, so where are the area chart? In the line chart, we have this area chart. Okay, like this. There are 2D area chart. Let's try out this one first. So this is your area chart, and I have just selected the sales figure. If I want to do a combo chart, I'll delete these things and I'll select two figures. So target versus commission, and I'll go here, insert. Here I'll go to the area chart, and this way I can have an area chart in terms of how the overall things are moving. In terms of my blue is actually the sales figure, and orange is my target figure. Okay, as simple as that, right? And you can try it with the 3 levels as well. Okay, let me take back to you the sorry, a presentation. Stop share. Again, start share with the presentation. Okay, then we have oh come on, line chart we've done. Then we have these scattered chart. Now we've tried to do scattered chart, but for a different data this thing, that's why we had a problem. Let's try to do a scattered chart with a singular graph figure. Okay, so I'll take you to my Excel. Could you see my Excel here?
Yes.
And I'm selecting just the sales figure. I'll go to insert, I'll go to charts, and I'll do a bubble chart, scatter chart, whatever you want to do it. But again, it's not giving you really what you can say difference, because the cells are in between 2005 to 5000 mark, and that's what it's showing. It's just a kind of blotted dots here. Okay, so these charts are typically used in terms of wherever you want to show them the scattered data points. I might change the color the way I want. So scattered data points are basically plotted here. Again, now here you have transparent scattered data points in terms of a circle. Okay, you can select the I think size and everything of a circle as well. Okay, so there are a good number of options. Please try it out. You can't change the size, I believe, or try to change the size on your own. If you can do it, well and good, no problem. So these are the scatter chart. Again, if you do scatter chart with less number of figures, let me try out. It can basically give you a clear idea. Here I'm doing scatter chart with is just 3 elements, right? Not here. The scatter chart. Come on, again this bloody thing. Scatter chart, let me try out. Now this looks a bit better, right? I've selected just the 2 figures. Now I can see the complete difference between July and June month. So June is my sorry, April is my blue and June is my golden. So this way I can understand the difference at these levels of these data. Again, if you have too much scatter along, then this can be plotted really well. It goes well with the different scattered data. Okay, any question? Again, this is a kind of complicated chart. Hardly a few a person uses this chart in an actual manner. Come on, this is 3D area. Okay, let me take back to the actually we did 3D area, I believe, right? So let me try the 3D area again. Delete. Come on, delete. Now I've selected just first one. Insert 3D area. Is it 3D area? Yes, this is 2D area, and then we have 3D area. So this is my 3D area. Let me try to have a double figure so you can understand. The graph itself is a kind of depending on the width of these things. Okay, let me go to the 3D area chart now, as you can see here. Okay, so what they've did, the gray is my commission, and commission is in line with the actual blue is my sales, orange is my target, and green is my commission. Sorry, the gray is my commission, and that's how they plotted one on the another side. Now I can choose different ways as you can see here, and you can have many other options as well. Okay, so depending upon your choice of these things, you can choose the colors and the way it should represent it, like area, line, bar. I still believe if I go to the line chart, this gives me the best possible representation, and that's how I like it. Okay, to represent as a line chart. Why the series is going up? This should be down, right? This should be at the lower level. They are at 450. There's a calibration challenge here, but okay, no problem. Previously when we did it, it was really good, but okay. So this is how you can plot this different type of chart. Again, I've shared the Excel sheet with you. Play around or start building a sheet with a home expense. So I'll have a months column here. I'll copy it from my sheet itself, and then I have expenses here. So I can give a complete, I can do this thing, and I'll do merge and center. There's a merge and center in the home. I can merge these things. So could you see merge and center? If I click that, it's a single cell. So view EXPE and expenses. In the expenses, I can have gas expense, I can have electricity expense, I can have
Food, grocery.
expense, yeah, and so on and so forth. So you can have so many expenses, and then you can try to plot these graph and chart, and we'll use our expense also to understand the different analytical ways to depict these expenses, progressions, regression, and all those things, and we'll explain on the basis of this homework. Okay, so please do these things. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions on homework? Again, the intention here is not to understand your balance sheet. Intention is here to understand how you can make use of these Excel tools to analyze your expense data and how you can plan better. Okay, any questions so far?
Oh,
Yeah, good, right?
yes.
Yes, okay. Now let me hand it over to Prerna ma'am. Prerna ma'am, are you there? No, Prerna ma'am is not here. Okay, so again, I believe this way we can plan our data analytical representation to the best fitment of myself, because I am the artist and I'm going to present this thing, right? So please work on this thing. Try to do these different chart types. Try to practice on your own, and then you'll able to understand how we can represent this data in actual on job, or at the time of business representation, the data analytical representation in your workplace. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no
Yes.
problem. Chalo. So let me conclude today's session. Please work on your homework, do some data expense sheet, try to be imaginative, and try to use a kind of graph or chart type which can represent your thought process much detail, and try to explain it in a 1 or 2 sentence, or let's say 4 or 5 sentences, so that we'll practice that explaining the representation also. Okay, so let me stop here today. Let's meet after day after tomorrow, and then we'll move further. Okay, thank
Okay,
you
have a good
a lot of your time.
Good luck.
Bye bye, take care. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.